Good evening, everyone. My name is Seth, and I'm here to shed some light on electrical fire safety and why it's very important, and why I think it's more important than just regular safety awareness. Because fires are, people die, people lose everything they have. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to bring it up. My audience has a glass and a water bottle. I have 3 points. My first point is going to be faulty wiring. My second point is going to be installation of safety devices, and third point is going to be the education needed. So digging in, has anyone ever, wondered what's behind their walls electrically? Things like that. Well, let's get into it. My speech will cover aspects of why it is important to understand why there is safety measures put into play, why there's safety devices, why they make them. And this is all preventative maintenance, just to prevent the action of, in the event, a fire could have happened, but it was saved by a device, electrical device, because 9 out of 10 times fires you hear about are electrical fires. So yeah. So getting into my first point, talking about faulty wiring equipment, that can be anything from flickering lights to, and even though flickering lights is something minor, what if that's the reason why your house caught on fire? You know what I mean? So faulty wiring, you just gotta troubleshoot it. You gotta make sure it's good. And when you upgrade it, you just gotta make sure you're doing everything by the book. Another common issue with faulty wiring is your circuit breaker trips too much. Okay, tripping multiple times a day, that's not good. Circuit breaker is there because it acts as a protection from it actually overheating. So if that's going on, more frequently than it should, I'd have that looked at. And the final one I want to talk about is burning smells, odors, things like that. You look at a receptacle, it's smoked. You plug an AC into a regular receptacle and it gets smoke. It's black. You don't want that. That's why they have, the safety devices that I'll mention later in this video. Going on into my second point now. Installation of safety devices. One way to prevent a fire risk is to install safety devices. And when they're getting installed, you want to make sure that you have a trained professional who is qualified to do that type of work. We'll talk about GFCIs. They ground fault circuit interrupters. They protect wet locations, kitchens, bathrooms, garages. They protect all that because you don't want to put a regular receptacle out there. Water hits it, boom, fire. You know what I mean? So you put a GFCI out there, the water gets into the circuit. That GFCI has a thing in it where it knows that there's something trying to interrupt that circuit. It's going to trip, shut it off, cut all current off. No power is going to it no more. So there's no, can't cause a fire. More say. Another one is the AFCI, arc fault interrupter. That's more for in-house things. That's more, you put those in bedrooms, stuff like that. But they're when you're installing these devices, location's a big factor. You want to make sure you're putting them in the right places. And all these measures are to eliminate the risk of fires, eliminate the risk of people having to lose everything, people getting killed. My last point I'll talk about is education. You want somebody to have a formal education, maybe post-secondary education on this. This goes for engineering too. It's very important. This way the individual knows what they're getting themselves into, knows that electricity isn't something to play with. Make sure they understand the codes and the systems and the safety measures that are put into play for a reason. Back in the day, they didn't have things like this. This is Romex, all right? This white part is a sheathing that protects the wire. Back in the day, it was just bare wire, man. They were just throwing things like this up into your wall. Like, that's not protecting nothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why it's important to know what's behind your walls. And the importance of the education part is it gives training and education so that the individual can provide that they understand, they have a very comprehensive understanding of the importance of what can go wrong with electrical. Because you may listen to this and think, man, this is, everybody knows. No, man, nobody knows. You touch the wrong voltage, man, you're gonna get yourself lit up, and you're not gonna feel good for a while. The aspect of fire safety needs to be taught more in schools, just because of the risks to fire. In my opinion, I like it. I think it needs to be talked about more. So in conclusion, we covered the aspects of fire safety protocols, the devices that are used to prevent fires. I don't want to say 99% of the time it's going to prevent it, but it definitely helps to prevent fires. And I'm very big on it. I like it. It needs to be taught more. It needs to have more awareness brought to it. And yeah, so with that, anyone have any questions? Thank you for your time. Have a good night.